So this is our video for the how-to project on how to do an oil change. This is my mom's car. This is the engine. And inside every engine, there should be a cap that tells you what kind of oil it takes, and that's where the oil goes in. So this one takes OW20. And then here is the dipstick, and this shows you your oil level and the color of the oil basically. So it's pretty dirty. It should be clear, but it's brown, which means it's time to change it. And the oil level should be between these two dots. It shouldn't be below the dot. That means you're low. It should be between them or at the second dot. All right, that's good.
Laney break.
Laney break. Okay, one of the things you are going to need for an oil change, because you do have to get underneath the car, is a jack. How it works, you have it all the way to the right, twisted, and tighten it, and then it will just go up like that, raises your car up. This one's kind of fancy, you don't need one like this, but just any jack will do. Okay, so once you have your jack underneath the car, you want the pads placed underneath the pinch weld. This is where you want to lift the car up from, on here. It's metal, and that's what you're supposed to do. And once it's on the pinch weld, you can start raising it up. And you don't even need to be strong to do it, which is nice. How much higher do you think you need it? Alright, and then you want to leave it about there. Okay, so this is a jack stand. You need to raise the car high enough so that the jack stand can fit underneath it. And you're putting these also on the pinch weld. And then you raise it up all the way to meet it, and then you're good. And then you do it to all of them. And then you want to make sure it's locked too, and it's not going to fall down, because if you're underneath the car and it gives out on you because it's not locked right, you could die. Okay, so to put it back down, you want to turn it counterclockwise. And you want to do it slowly so that the car doesn't just like drop on the jack stands. Okay, or do it like I did. You can lower it back down, and then it shouldn't fall. You're supposed to push it a little to make sure it doesn't. If it does, then you did it wrong.
Hi, I also want to take your time, look at the oil cap. You can clean it off, clean any dirt and dust on it. And then also you want to make sure on this style, make sure that this O-ring is in good shape, because if it was cracked and it falls off, when you push this in to seal it, it's no longer going to seal, and oil can come out and or debris go in.
Also, when you go to do this, you want to have a catch can, and you want to make sure you have oil to put new oil in, and you need a new oil filter. Basically with these, it catches it, and then what we do, since we have a cat, we use old kitty litter containers, put the oil in there, then we take it to Advanced Auto, and it gets put into a container there that they just store for until they can get rid of it. Did you start? Okay. So this is the underside of my mom's car. Some cars will have panels like this protecting the underside. Oh, I know that's hot. Protecting the underside of it. So to get to the oil filter, for on this car, you have to take this panel out. So I have some screwdrivers, and you want to find, so you look at this, you can take those out, and you know, righty tighty, lefty loosey. I don't know what that means, but I think I'm going the right way. Yeah. You see, you have to take all these out, and then you want to save those and don't lose them, because that would be kind of sad.
Just a little.
Just a little. And you don't have to rush with this, you can take it slow. One time I found a dead bird in here.
Okay.
And for these, you just kind of pop them out. For these ones, I don't actually know how to do that. Oh, I did it. You just pull those out. So to put them back in, because they are kind of like little grabby things, there's a little thing on it, and you can move it like up or down to like make it easier to put them in. So don't lose those. kind of important. Okay, now that you have all the pins out, you're gonna take this out, if I can. Okay, ta-da! Yay! And set that aside. In case you didn't realize it yet, this is the oil filter, and this is the nut that the oil is in, that's holding the oil in. So when you want to do this, you have to find the right, what's the word? You have to find the right thingy that fits this to be able to unscrew it, and then you let all of that drain out. That's what I do first, and that goes in the catch can. And then once that's all drained out, I'll undo the oil filter, because this has oil in it too, and you pull that out slowly, and you want to keep it level because there's oil in it. You don't want it to spill all over you because it's hot. And
was the word you were looking for screwdriver?
No. And then so you'll take that out, and then you just put it upside down in your catch can and wait for it to all drain out. Then you just wait for all of this to stop leaking, and then you can move on with the next step.
Or was it socket wrench?
Yeah, it was a socket. You want to
wrench?
find the right socket that fits this.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so on different kind of cars, there's going to be different kind of sockets. I forgot which one it was. On this one, it uses these, and then you just have to find the one that fits. So this fits, and then a bigger one you'll see that won't fit, and then that is just too small. So you're going to use this one for this one, and you'll put it in, and then you'll find a socket wrench, and then just get her done.
Start when you're ready.
I'm tired. Okay. Once you get started, we usually lay a piece of cardboard down underneath in case we miss, because it's not fun cleaning out of concrete. You can just use brake cleaner though, and that should get it. So we have the catch can under here. You don't want it directly underneath because there's a lot of pressure, and it's going to come like out like that,
And hopefully not hit me.
and hopefully not hit Bethany. So now you want a socket wrench. You have your socket. You want to put it on there. Make sure it's going the right way. I don't think it's going the right way, but once you have it in, this is I'm gonna try the other one. You can use different size ones. The longer it is, the more leverage you'll have when you go to do it. And I'm gonna struggle. Oh, I'm tightening it.
Yeah, I was about to say.
It's okay, we all make mistakes. Oh, it's loose. Okay. Once you have it loose, once you break it and you have it loose, you want to make sure this is where you want it to be. And oil's going to start coming out fast. So what I do is I untwist it very slow. And I put pressure on it so oil doesn't come out, hopefully. Oh, it's coming out and it hurts. Let's see. There you go. And while you're looking, you want to make sure you don't see anything metallic, so you can shine a flashlight on it. If you see something metallic, that means something's broken in your engine and metal is going in there. It smells amazing. And is it on? Mm-hmm. Okay. And you can set this yeah, you can set it down. I usually bring a garage rags under here with me, just to clean up, you know, your hand, because you just got a bunch of oil on it. And depending on what kind of car you have, sometimes the engineers who design it aren't very smart, and they'll put bars here, or like this, the panel. Sometimes the oil can drip onto the panel, so you just want to clean that up too, make sure it's all clean. And then you want to clean the bolt that's holding it in too.
Do you want a different rag for that?
No, it's fine. And then you just wait for this to empty out, and once it's empty, you can put the bolt back in. So basically once it just stops dripping, it'll drip for a while, so you can just let it go. And then we'll put this in, and then we're gonna take this out. This is
Say we don't kill the bug.
I'll do my best, but it's like moving, so it's alive.
Oh.
I'm scared of it. Can you give me a screwdriver? I'm gonna beat it.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna get it out, but that's like disturbing. It's
Where
dead.
did it go?
It's right there.
Wait. Oh. Hello.
It's still alive.
Don't fling it
What
towards
is
me.
that? Is it a beetle? As you casually poke it.
Garbage. Do I kill it?
Yeah. Go ahead. Oh, man, it just flattened. It was crunchy. You could hear it.
I'm sorry. Die. Okay. That's our murder for the day. Minus the spider you killed.
We don't talk about that.
Still going.
This is still in. It's still dripping.
Okay.
Okay, so it's basically done. I'm just gonna call it a day with that. You want to try and clean this off. Make sure there's like no hair on it or anything like that. And then you're just gonna put this back in. Finger tighten it, and then take this, and then on the back you could switch it back to tightening it. And then clean that off. Clean out the outside. And we'll tighten that later. And then you're gonna take this. You want to push the button on the back to release the whole thing on it. And with this, you want to untighten it. You can use one of these to help get it started.
What are those called, Sammy?
I have no idea. I just call them oil thingies.
Oil thingies?
Yeah. And then you want to put it on there. These like loosen up by pulling them out like that. Oh, look at the car. Oh, it's Rachel.
Hi, Rachel. Who's Rachel?
Our neighbor. Okay, so once you have this all on here, on the oil filter, you're gonna start slowly loosening it. And then I'm just gonna take this off because it's not working out very well with me today. And then you're gonna start undoing it and make sure the catch can is still here because there's still oil in here. Ew, 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 ew.
Oh, yeah, there's just a little oil in there.
Well, I meant that it's like, it's, it's a little slippery. A little, oh, tasty. Then you're just gonna empty it out. And on some catch cans, there's gonna be just a ring here, and it's just meant to sit there. And then you just kind of wallow in self-pity. Okay, once you have the oil filter off and it looks like it's done dripping, we're just gonna clean it off.
Remember where it's at, because from when we had to potentially do your brakes.
Right.
I got it.
Okay, now that we got that pretty much cleaned off, you just don't want anything on there. So if you see any hair or like anything like that, you just want to take it off and get it like relatively clean. And that's good. Okay, so when you go to get your oil filter, you can ask them to search up what kind of oil filter you need, or you can just know. So
How
this,
do you know, Sammy?
you just do. It's common knowledge, not really. So this car takes M1 108A, and we use Mobil 1. On my car, I use a K&N. You open it up, and then you take the new filter. You look at it. You can set it down, and then you take the new 5 quarts of oil, and we use Mobil 1, and this car takes 0W20.
As it's set on the...
As it's set on the cap in the car. And we use full synthetic. You're gonna open it. And there should be a little plastic thing on there. You just pop it right open. Alright. And on the side you can see how full it is. So it has different lines for each quart. So this is liter, so if you want to do it by liters, or you can do it by quarts on this side. You're gonna put some in here. Yeah, I'll probably spill it. If you're bad at pouring like me, you might want to put a towel underneath it. And then you're just gonna fill it up a little bit with the new oil. Oh, that was good. All right. And you just want to let it sit to let it soak in there a little bit. And then you put a little bit more in. Oh, that was too much. And then you see it's gonna soak back down. And then you're gonna take your finger, put it in the oil, and rub it around the rim of it. Get it nice and lubed up, I guess is not a good word, but I'm sorry. And then when you go to put the filter back on, because there's oil on the rim of it, on this rubber piece, when it gets hot, it's gonna suction onto it, so it's not gonna fall off. Because to put these on, you just have to hand tighten it. You don't have to do it, you don't have to use anything to put them on super tight. These go on hand tighten. So what I do is I'll screw it on and then loosen it up a little bit. So after you got all the oil cleaned off and all that, you wanna look to make sure the old O-ring from the old oil didn't come off. As you can see, it's still on here. If there's two on there, it's called double gasketing, and it will blow up, basically. Okay. So I'm gonna take my rag. I'm gonna clean up the old oil, the new oil filter. You gotta be steady with it, and then you gotta put it back on, put it on, and then just basically. Frankie Bowie. Okay. So it's on there. I'm going to get it as tight as I can with using my hand. Alright, once it's hand tightened, you're going to move it, unscrew it like a tiny bit. There, that's good. And because we put oil on it, on the rim of the O-ring, it's going to suction up when it gets hot and it's not going to come off. So for the oil filter, you never have to tighten it up too much. And now we're gonna tighten this. Where'd my finger go? And this one you do want to tighten as much as you can. We can actually move the catch can now out of the way. Okay, that should be good. There we go. Again, we want to go and clean it up as good as we can. And it should be tight enough and good. And when you put it back on, you want to make sure that this silver ring is still on it. You want to make sure that that's still on it because that can come off. So you want to make sure that's on it when you go to put it back. So this is what you would do if it's not there. Just slide it back on. Yeah, you just slide it back on if it's not on there. So it should look exactly how you started when you're done with all the stuff underneath the car. So this should still be there and this should still be there. Okay, now we're gonna put the oil filter in where the cap used to be. We're gonna put that in like that. And a couple other things I forgot to mention. When you're doing this, you should have closed-toed shoes on, and you should be wearing clothes that you don't mind getting dirty. I don't mind getting this dirty, but he does, because I already got my jeans dirty and the shoes are dirty, but it's okay. Now, I hold it with a rag because I'm messy. And then I use a step stool because I'm not tall enough to get enough leverage to do this. And then you just slowly pour it in. And you need to know how many quarts your car takes. So if it takes more than 5 quarts, you're gonna need to buy more than one of these. But this only takes about 5 quarts. So we're just gonna put this whole thing in, plus some. And we're gonna put a full synthetic thing in here later. But that's optional, you don't have to do that. Then I'm gonna pair it up.
I can't see it, that's too high.
Okay, once it's full of oil, you're gonna check the dipstick to make sure it's at the right level. You want it either at the second dot or like close to it. You don't want it over because that means there's too much in there. You want to start it, make sure it gets all mixed up and all over, everything nice and lubricated. Then you want to go back underneath, make sure everything's tightened all the way and there's nothing leaking. If there's something leaking, then you need to tighten it all and then make sure the oil level's back where it's supposed to be. And then after that, you just have to lower everything, and we can show that later. You have all the new oil in, everything's tight, nothing's leaking. That's very important. You don't want anything to be leaking. You're gonna clean your work area, make sure everything's all good and looking good. Then we're gonna put the panel back on. For this car, you're gonna need a Phillips head, and then you're gonna need all these to put them back in. So, how does this go? This goes in like that. Okay. So this
What is he talking about?
Oh, it's my dad's birthday a couple days ago, so Forrest got him a card and Starburst.
Oh,
Because that's my dad's like favorite candy.
that's nice.
So you're just gonna hand tighten all the screws back in wherever the screws go. Oh god.
What?
It touched
Forrest,
my knees and it scared me.
Forrest, what are you doing?
Where'd they go?
Oh, they're right here.
Oh, that scared me.
Oh my god.
Okay, these are the hardest to put back in my opinion, just because I hate them, like with everything in my body.
Are those the plastic things?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I had to buy like 36 of those.
Forrest, be quiet. We're videoing.
Yeah.
Oh my bad.
And so you just kind of shove them back in there. Oh, that wasn't that bad. Just pop it in. That one's good. And now we have one more.
They're really easy to pop in and out unless they're like dry rotted.
These are dry rotted. That's what.
And you can only get them from the dealership too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it got back in. Woo! So now, dun, 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 dun.
Now?
Oh yeah, now we're gonna get everything out from underneath the car. It's like the catch pan. We're gonna move that way. Then we're gonna get all the rags on the cardboard out from underneath, and then we're gonna lower it, and we're gonna show you how to lower it in a second.
Yep.
When you go to do an oil change, if you ever want to, you need to make sure you have a jack stand that can lift up your car. So this one can lift up to 3 tons. So that's like an elephant, I guess, or a couple.
Okay.
So when you go to put it down, you're gonna make sure that the bar is twisted all the way to the right. That makes it go up. If it's twisted to the left, when you go to twist it all the way left, it comes down. So you're gonna make sure these are on the pinch welds again. It's easier to see where it is once it's lifted up more. I'm gonna move it down a little bit. Oh, yeah. I don't like that. Okay, that's it. So you're gonna jack this up. And once the jack stands, when it's not touching this anymore, you're good to release it. Release it, you just lift this bar up. You want to pull it out from underneath the car. And you want to do that to this side too. Careful not to pinch your fingers on it.
If you do, that's not our fault.
Yeah, it's your fault for not listening very well. Now you're gonna release it.
Slowly, hopefully.
Slowly, hopefully.
Watch the whole car just drop.
hands is greasy. My hands isn't sticking anymore. They're just sliding.
Don't be weird.
P.S. Wash your hands periodically so they're not greasy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Don't do like Sammy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's very attractive. Alright, then you want to take it around to the other side and do the same thing.
Nice.
It's all back on the ground. You want to start it. Make sure it starts. And all that stuff. If it doesn't start, you did something wrong. And then it should be all good to go. Seeing as it started and there wasn't any check engine light, it's all good.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure you don't hear any bad noises. So you want to listen to how it sounds before you start, and then you're going to listen to how it sounds after you start. Well, after it's all done. And you want to make sure it still sounds the same.
You go.
Hold on.
You're gonna twerk and twerk.
Ready?